This is my last job I'll do.
Journeyman ironworker Dustin Monday has erected steel over a lifetime. He put retirement on hold to help build Provo, Utah's second temple in the heart of downtown. He considers the project the pinnacle of his career.
I'm really blessed that I can finish this up.
It so happens that Monday's skilled trade runs in the family. One of his ancestors helped finish another Utah temple more than a century ago.
Well, I'll get to install these stair treads in this building, which my great-grandfather done on the Manti. His was all built out of wood, mine steel. He was a much better tradesman than I think I was.
Monday belongs to a select group of craftsmen who are in the process of helping to build over 24 temples across the globe. All told, 170 temples have either been announced, are under construction, or in service at this time. Temples are revered by Mormons as sacred structures and built to withstand the test of time.
We don't want to have a temple that's going to fall down. In 100 years, we're building these temples to last into the millennium.
The highest quality materials are used, the most skilled workers employed, and meticulous attention given to detail as an ultimate expression of worship.
In the Bible, it says that they used the finest materials and the finest workmen to build the temple. And that's the pattern that we follow. We don't put gold on the walls, but we will select beautiful woodwork and beautiful wall coverings and furnish it in a lovely manner. Not to be ostentatious, but to be beautiful and a wonderful tribute to God.
Materials and energy are also used as prudently and efficiently as possible to achieve a construction standard called sustainable design.
Sustainable design starts with how the architect and the consultant specified the building to reduce energy costs, water usage, waste, both from the construction side and then after the building's done, and how you operate the building.
What's more, all building costs are paid for up front, with funds earmarked for that purpose.
We've had a long-standing practice in the church for well over 100 years that we don't take out loans or put mortgages on properties to build them, so we would not build a temple unless we could pay for the temple as the temple was built.
The process of building a temple starts with prayerful and thoughtful consideration from the church's president and his 2 counselors, referred to as the First Presidency. After identifying a need for members in a particular part of the world, determining a size, and locating an appropriate area, an exploratory team is sent out to find a specific site.
If they were to choose a location in Brazil, they would fly to Brazil, look for an appropriate site that would be on a hill, that would have prominence, be in an attractive neighborhood, a neighborhood that would withstand the test of time.
The church also works to establish a relationship of trust and understanding with the community in which a temple may be built.
Community has to offer a whole lot to a temple project. We invite them to become part of that project as we go through. We communicate with the community. We invite them to participate at the end of the construction so that they can see what has been constructed.
The First Presidency again gives prayerful consideration before a final site is chosen and purchased. Then, the designing stage begins with thorough research of the chosen city.
You look at the great architecture that is there, you look at the great ecclesiastical architecture there, you get a feel for the people, the community, and as you see the built environment, you begin to extrapolate from that something that would be appropriate for that locale.
While all temples function the same, church leaders encourage designers to create a unique look and feel for each structure.
You'd like every temple to have some of its own character, and so you'd like to integrate those things that you see in the locale and integrate that into the exterior and the interior.
Williams says there's also another important component.
The leadership of the church has charged us as architects, even outside consultants, to seek inspiration from our Father in heaven as you design it.
Once the design of a temple is completed and approved by the First Presidency, contractors are selected based on expertise, bid price, and their workers' ability to complete the job.
We visit the area that we intend to build a temple and look for viable companies that are able to meet and exceed our standards and the quality of craftsmanship that we seek.
You've got thousands of systems and components that all have to work in harmony. It's a very complex maze of issues that have to just be 100% right. the complexity of the design requires the very best that most workers have ever had to give on a project.
Crews who work on a temple construction site don't have to be members of the church, but are asked to adhere to certain standards.
For instance, we'll ask them not to smoke because of the sacred nature of this site.
The ongoing restoration of the Provo City Center Temple is one of the latest projects which demands excellence, combining historic preservation with state-of-the-art engineering. The former Provo Tabernacle was gutted by fire in 2010, leaving little more than a shell of its exterior walls.
We had a contractor here within a few hours to do everything possible to protect what was remaining from the fire.
In 2011, President Thomas S. Monson announced plans to remodel the tabernacle into a temple. After innovative engineering that placed the entire structure on stilts, the brick exterior was reinforced to be stronger than when first built more than a century ago. Once the structure's exterior walls and roof were shored up, crews placed the familiar gold statue of the Angel Moroni atop its main spire.
All of the temples that are being built today would have Moroni on the top of the temple.
With cutting-edge tools of heavy construction, steel studs replaced wood framing of a century ago. This space will be transformed into what is called the celestial room in temples, similar to this, emanating beauty and serenity and reflecting its own unique motif. Unique design is reflected in all temples and can be seen in the spiral staircases of the Provo City Center Temple's trademark towers and its intricate oval baptismal font.
It could be anything from modern that you see in the Washington, D.C. temple to something that is very kind of Gothic neoclassical that you find in the Salt Lake temple.
Once finished, everyone is welcome to walk through a completed temple and learn more about Latter-day Saint beliefs.
When we build a new temple, we like to have an open house so that the public can come and see the temple before the temple is dedicated. And many times we'll have tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people come and visit the open house.
After several weeks, the open house concludes, and a leader of the church, usually a member of the First Presidency, dedicates the temple for its sacred use. Included in that event is the cornerstone ceremony, which symbolizes the temple's completion.
Oh, good. Very well done.
Once dedicated, the temple is open to Mormons who live the highest standards of their faith. They consider temples the most sacred spaces on earth, where the highest degrees of learning and worship are attained. Elder Walker says those who live near a temple and may not share the religious beliefs of their Latter-day Saint neighbors can also benefit.
The grounds of our temples are lovely and beautifully maintained, and they add to the peace and the beauty and the dignity of a community. All the members of the community generally would be very pleased to have a temple there, and we hope that that would be the case.